Hello. Hi, everyone. Uh, Falguni and myself have been deciding from years that we should start a men's line. And we did bits and pieces in the past. We've dressed up a few people. But then we've not full-fledged did a show. So I think it's about 15 days back we decided that let's do a men's show. And before we could decide on the collection or what the look was going to be, we decided first who's going to be the showstopper, And we said it has to be only Karan. I said, let's speak to Karan. If he says no, then we change the line. We do something else. Or we might do a woman's line. So we kept my fingers crossed. I spoke to Karan. Karan immediately took some time to reply, but when he replied and he said yes, and then we started designing. And I think we kept Karan in mind, and we designed the entire collection. But we did take inspiration from the 70s, where at that period of time when punk, funk, rock, soul, disco, everything was at its peak out there, and people were just branching out into what they were liking. So I said, let's use that as an inspiration, and we've been always very musically inclined. And I think the rest fell into place, and I said the show won't, show has to start with a woman, and she has to wear a suit. And honestly, the first person Falguni spoke to was Sonakshi, and I think it just fell into place. Everything just fell into line. And it was very easy designing the collection because we had two great superstars with us.
Thank you, Shane. Falguni, do you have anything to add to that?
He said everything.
Yeah? He's put it all together, is it? So should we just move on to Sonakshi and Karan then? Sonakshi, over the last few months, you've been lauded for the way you've been presenting yourself to the media. Your looks have been the talk of the town. You've been a fashion icon. Tell us a little bit about when Falguni probably called you and said, you have to be the opening showstopper for us. How did that begin?
They actually called me just as he said he put together the collection 15 days back. So he obviously called me like 3 days back, and he was like, we're showcasing our first menswear line. And Shane and Falguni have been, one of my favorite designer duos. I've worked for them in the how long back was it? 4 or 5 months back. I was their showstopper for their women's wear line. And, now that they're foraying into menswear, like he said very correctly, it should open with a woman and then the men can take over, but it always has to start with a woman. So I'm really glad that I could be the opener for their show today, and it was a fabulous show. I really loved the outfits, all of them, and I love what I'm wearing. So thank you guys for making me look like a rock star.
She is. Sona's a rock star, and she is really amazing.
And now going to, I think I'm going to take a little bit of inspiration from what Shane just mentioned, that when he thought of having a menswear collection, he had to take your word for it first to understand Karan, what Karan has to say about this. You're also, I think, in Bollywood or in the entertainment industry, known as the fashion police for everybody that, adores you and is your friend. Karan, tell us a little bit about your association with this magnanimous designer duo and being here today.
Well, firstly, I've known Falguni and Shane for really long, and many, many years ago, I remember when Shane and Falguni wanted to do a men's line. They wanted to shoot their campaign with me, and that never happened. But I'm glad that they kept me in mind when they actually went into it full throttle. And the fact that Shane and Falguni said that their line was an inspiration, it's very flattering, and I hope people like it, because otherwise I would hate to be an insipid inspiration for anyone. But the clothes looked fabulous and flamboyant, extravagant, and yet exceptionally elegant, just the way Falguni and Shane like it, and just the way they state it. And I just think the show was completely rocking from the time it began till it ended. It felt like a 10-minute party, and I think when the ramp is converted into a party zone, that's when you enjoy the show even more. And so I've actually changed twice. I wore one jacket, and wasn't enough. I went back and even came back wearing something else. So I had a lot of fun. This is totally my zone. I'm half Sindhi, so bling goes with my territory. Bling is everything, and I think men should never shy away from shining, because, I just think that it's their way of expressing their inner soul. And I believe that you should not think that just plain clothing is the way forward for a man. I think the androgynousness of their collection is exemplary.
Thank you. Karan, tell us a little bit about both the jackets and both the looks that you've been styled in.
Well, I think we weren't spoiled for choice. We had many choices, and then when we decided to open with that shimmery and shiny silver and black sequins jacket, and of course we coupled it was their idea to go completely silver on the hair. This is the way I probably will age, so I hope I didn't look like Sonakshi's uncle on ramp. But other than that, it was like all them, their vision. We wanted to open with that, and then we decided to use the second jacket as well, which is a longer silhouette and had the same elements Sonakshi has actually, which is sequence and kind of upping and taking the dinner jacket and the trench coat pattern and silhouette to an higher, more fashionable level. It's the way the world is dressing today, and I'm so glad that our mainstream designers in India are are actually pushing the fashion envelope and sometimes tearing it as well.
To being on point with global trends then.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. With that, I think we're going to open the floor for questions from the media. No?
Yeah. Hello.
No question? Okay, we're just going to have 2 questions. That's it. 2 questions. Go for it.
Hi. फॉर्चुनेटली जब रणवीर सिंह इंडस्ट्री में होता है ना, उसके बाद आप जो भी करो लोग एक्सेप्ट कर लेंगे, क्योंकि उन्होंने फैशन बार इतना हाई रेस कर लिया है, और उन्होंने सब जो ये पूरा जो कलेक्शन है, मुझे लगता है ये रणवीर सिंह का फेवरेट कलेक्शन हो सकता है, बिकॉज वो सारी चीजें वो कपड़े, इनफैक्ट आई अपलॉड हिम एंड आई अडोर हिम फॉर एक्चुअली completely taking men's fashion to an altogether different level. वो like एजी फैशन के ब्रांड एम्बेसडर बन चुके हैं, तो हम उसके बाद जो भी करें ऐसा लगेगा उससे कम ही कर रहे हैं. तो आई वाज एन एप्रीहेंसिव, आई एंजॉयड इट. मुझे ऐसे धमाकेदार कपड़े पहनना मैं बहुत खुश हो जाता हूं जो ऐसे कपड़े पहनता हूं. तो आई एक्चुअली हैड अ लॉट ऑफ फन. कोई एप्रीहेंशन नहीं था.
एक सेकंड. Congratulations, Falguni and Shane. Both of you are coming in a film together also. So kind of being on the ramp and being in the film goes in sync.
Actually, ये plan तो नहीं था. That was not for the. But I mean, I'm glad we are very proud to be part of Welcome to New York. But that wasn't the plan. I think it just so happened कि ये promotion शायद लग रहा है, लेकिन है नहीं. Intent fashion का था, film का नहीं.
सोनाक्षी आप भी कुछ बोलिए ना. एक सेकंड. बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन.
आप बोलिए.
You also say something on this?
नहीं, that was not the intention, but ये इत्तेफाक से हो गया हमारी पिछली फिल्म की तरह, and I'm really happy that I'm getting to share screen space with Karan, and today we got to share the catwalk together, and I think it was a fab collection. No better way to start off our fashion journey together as well.
Thank you. That would be...
Thank you. Sonakshi ji ka solo. अरे भाई वो सेट बीच में भाई चलो फोन या मैडम जी इधर देखिए थैंक यू चलो आ गया सेल्फी just teacher yeah